Have you ever felt so overwhelmed that everything inside you feels like a silent storm? Like no matter what you do, peace always feels just out of reach, as if life is nothing more than emotional firefighting, day after day. If you find yourself diving into your phone, food, alcohol, or endless work just to avoid facing what you feel, this video is for you. Today, you'll learn why running from pain only fuels the chaos and how to rebuild, step by step, a sanctuary within yourself, calm, grounded, and unshakable. This isn't about quick fixes or magical answers. It's about finally seeing what's been pulling you down and learning how to quiet the noise from within. If you're tired of carrying invisible weight and ready to live with clarity, ease, and truth, stay with me. What you'll hear today might just be the turning point your soul has been quietly asking for. Have you noticed how we tend to run the most when we actually need to pause and feel? On those days when everything inside you is screaming, you scroll endlessly, binge a show, or throw yourself into random tasks, just so you don't have to face what's going on inside. That's not weakness, that's survival. But survival comes at a cost. It slowly silences your inner voice until one day you're not even sure what you feel anymore, just numb. That's the quiet cycle of emotional disconnection, and most people are trapped in it without even realizing. From a young age, we're taught that pain is bad, sadness is weakness, and we should always be fine. So when pain shows up, and it always does, our instinct is to numb it. We reach for distractions, mindless scrolling, unnecessary snacks, that just one glass of wine. But these are all walls we build to avoid going inward. And the higher those walls get, the further we drift from ourselves. Here's the thing. What you avoid feeling doesn't go away. It builds up. Every ignored emotion resurfaces, often disguised as chronic fatigue, unexplained anger, procrastination, insomnia, or even illness. And over time, this constant escape disconnects you not just from yourself, but from others too. You move through life on autopilot, stuck in shallow conversations, hollow routines, and decisions with no real soul. Your body's there, but your spirit's checked out. This video is an invitation to break that cycle, because underneath your urge to run is a cry for care, for stillness, for connection. Your feelings don't need fixing, they need to be felt. And the first step towards peace isn't doing more, it's pausing, breathing, and noticing what's happening within. In the next chapter, we'll uncover how that simple shift in awareness can become your greatest source of strength. Self-awareness, a simple word often misunderstood. To some, it sounds vague or unattainable, like it belongs to people who have hours to meditate or take wellness retreats. But real self-awareness doesn't need incense or silence. It starts in tiny, almost invisible moments, like catching yourself mindlessly holding your phone, realizing your third coffee isn't about tiredness, it's about anxiety. It's that instant when, instead of reacting automatically, you pause and ask, what am I really feeling right now? That's self-awareness, turning on a light in a room inside you that's been dark for years. When that room lights up, you begin to see the patterns driving you, the same impulsive choices, self-sabotaging thoughts, or emotional loops. But now that you see them, you're no longer their prisoner. You begin to choose differently. And that choice, that's your power. But let's be clear, self-awareness isn't self-criticism. It's not judging every feeling or holding yourself to impossible emotional standards. It's developing a kinder, more curious relationship with your inner world. It's asking yourself, what is this pain trying to tell me? What is this anger trying to protect? Why do I feel this way right now? Not to punish yourself, but to understand yourself. Because only when you truly know yourself can you begin to care for yourself. Self-awareness is ground zero for emotional healing. It's how you begin to rebuild your relationship with yourself, and through that, with the world. It's not about becoming someone new. It's about reconnecting with who you've always been underneath the noise and the masks. And that's exactly where we're going next. Learning how to turn this awareness into an inner home, a space that holds you even when everything outside is falling apart. Picture this. Inside you is a house. Maybe it's been empty, messy, or neglected. But what if you could rebuild it, room by room? Not perfectly, but intentionally. That's the real journey of emotional healing. Not erasing the past, but building a place within yourself where even your pain is allowed to exist without fear. When we talk about inner peace, this is what we mean. A quiet, safe space inside you where you can finally rest from always having to be okay. You don't need rituals or retreats to create this space. It starts in the smallest acts of presence. Choosing to sit with your sadness instead of running, welcoming your anxiety with compassion like you would comfort a scared child. Asking yourself daily, what do I need today to feel whole? This is the kind of care that rebuilds you, not by removing pain, but by giving it a home. Maybe you've spent years being strong, efficient, endlessly productive. Maybe you've lost yourself trying to be what the world expects. But here's the truth. You never had to be perfect. You just needed to be present. Because when you listen to yourself with honesty and compassion, things shift. You stop chasing peace in people, achievements, or control, and realize it's been waiting inside you all along. This space within you doesn't need walls. It's built from choices, awareness, and gentle daily practice. And the more you return to it, the more real it becomes. Up next, we'll explore why true peace isn't about eliminating chaos, but learning how to stay grounded within it. Because peace isn't the absence of noise. It's your presence, steady and strong, even when the world around you shakes. So many people think peace is what you feel when everything is calm, when the bills are paid, your mind is quiet, and your relationships are flowing. But that kind of peace, it's rare and fragile, because real life is loud, messy, and unpredictable. If your peace depends on everything outside going right, you'll spend your life chasing stillness and never finding it. Real peace doesn't wait for calm. It shows up inside the storm. It doesn't come from control, it comes from presence. Being present means staying with yourself even when things feel hard. It's taking a deep breath while your mind races, watching your thoughts and emotions like waves, not trying to stop them, but not letting them carry you away either. It's staying whole, even while healing. That's when self-awareness becomes real strength. You're no longer running from how you feel, but you're not drowning in it either. You feel and you stay. That's the shift. So how do you practice this? It starts small. 3 conscious breaths before replying to a text. 1 quiet moment before leaving bed. Asking, how am I really doing in the middle of a chaotic workday? These are your anchors, tiny moments that bring you back to yourself. Over time, those moments become a rhythm, and that rhythm becomes a refuge. Peace stops being a temporary state and becomes a way of being, a grounded presence that no one can take from you because it's not in your circumstances, it's in your choice to return inward every day, to pause, to feel, to stay. Next, we'll explore what changes when this practice becomes a way of life and how it unlocks the version of you that's more authentic, more free, and more deeply connected. As you reconnect with yourself, something quiet but powerful begins to shift. That constant pressure to perform, please, and hide begins to dissolve. You stop surviving and start living with intention. Your choices feel clearer. Your relationships feel deeper. Your routine becomes less about performance and more about presence. Living with purpose doesn't mean having it all figured out. It means moving through life in alignment with your truth. Lightness doesn't come from a perfect life. It comes from the freedom to stop hating yourself inside. You start treating yourself with kindness. You honor your limits without guilt. You say no when you need to, and yes when you mean it. Perfectionism fades. Comparison quiets down because you realized your worth was never in getting it all right, but in being whole, even when you feel broken. That's when inner peace becomes more than a concept. It becomes who you are. It shows up in how you listen, how you breathe, how you show up in the world. Living with purpose isn't a finish line, it's a practice, and it begins again each time you choose to return to yourself. Maybe your life still feels messy, but now you know real change begins inside. Every pause, every intentional breath, every honest choice is a brick in your inner home. Peace can live there. And if something in this message spoke to you, don't ignore it. Carry it with you. Act on it. Come back when you need to. Hear it for a mind you have a safe space to begin again as many times as it takes. And if this resonated with you, leave your like and subscribe to the channel. Your journey to a lighter, more purposeful, more present life is just beginning.